Hey guys, welcome back. The other day I talked about the major scale. Which I had this paper here to show you all about it. So today I'm talking about the minor scale. And what the minor scale is, I'm pointing to the 6th degree. It's the major scale starting from the 6th note or 6th scale degree. So this is the sonic difference. When we play the major scale, it sounds like this. Now I'm gonna play all the same notes, but I'm gonna start from the 6th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And I'm gonna start it from this A, so I can show you like the full scale. So it'll sound like this. So why does this matter? Why is the minor scale so important? Well, the minor scale and the major scale go just hand in hand because they're actually made up of the same notes. So I'm gonna play this little progression that I was playing last week. It's or at least something similar. So it'll go. So now the difference. I'm gonna play the major scale over this, then the minor scale. You see, there's not much of a difference. So major scale. Now minor scale. So the main difference there is that the minor scale obviously starts on the 6th degree, so that really just makes it feel minor on its own. But listen to this now. I'm gonna play a progression that is totally minor, A minor, and I want to reiterate this point, right? The C major scale starts on C, right? And A is the 6th degree. That's why I'm playing it here, right? Because C, this is C, this is A, right? So if you're playing guitar, it's good to look at it as this 3-fret sort of difference, right? Like, and I'll use A and C as an example, right? If I'm on A, I'm gonna use C. If I'm on G, B flat, right? So ultimately they relate to each other. A C major scale will be an A minor scale. A B flat major scale will be a G minor scale, right? So ultimately with this 3-fret difference, it's very sort of apparent to see. On a piano, there would be a white key, and the next white key would be the minor. Although I don't really play too much piano, so it's, if you're a piano player, you know what I mean. But C and A, it's easy to see C and A on a piano versus on a guitar. It's sort of less obvious what the scales are. So either way, minor scale. I'm not gonna play a minor progression. So turn that down a little bit. So now I'm gonna play over this. I'm gonna play I'm gonna play the C major scale and the A minor scale, and you can see how they both work. So C major. A minor. So you can see how they both work because they're both the same notes, right? So if you're playing in A minor, you can use the C major scale. If you're playing in C major, you can use the A minor scale. Doesn't really matter because they're the same notes. And in a lot of times when I'm playing a C major progression, or when I'm soloing over a C major progression, I like to use the minor scale or the A minor scale because I like the way that my hand feels playing it, right? And so there's also other scales that are made up of the same notes of C major that just start. Let me bring this paper back, and I'll also post this paper. I don't know if I've mentioned that already. I want to post this separately so you guys can see it better, but you can start on really any scale degree and it creates its own scale, its own different sounding scale, but when you play it over C major, they all kind of sound the same because they're all made up of the same notes. And this will be more obvious in my next video as to how this works, because I'm going to talk about every single scale degree and how each of their scales are individualized, but also, you know, the same scale. So I know it's kind of confusing, right? Because like, how can a scale be a totally different scale but also the same scale? And it's all about just where you start that scale, which note you start it from. And the major being the easiest sort of to explain. I mean, there's obviously other ways to look at it, so I'm gonna now play this minor scale. I'm gonna show you how to do a little bit of improv on it, so you can take it away, get some ideas. But you know, really work on the major scale, work on the minor scale, and it sets you up for great success. Just a little something, right? I mean, you can really get into like playing that and working on it. And I always like to add chromaticisms. I was talking about that last video as well, just like the fact that you can add notes that aren't in the scale and makes it more interesting. But of course, the notes in the scale are going to be the most important. You always want to come back to the notes in the scale to make the listener feel like, you know, I am in the scale, I'm in this home key. And in this case, you know, A minor is that home key instead of C. With this particular progression, that's why it sounds more minor, more sort of, I don't know if sad's the right word, but it's a little bit more, you know, dark as opposed to this C major. Right, so this, but, right, it's a little more dark, it's a little more hectic. So I hope you find this helpful. Yeah, let me know if you have any suggestions on things you want to learn in the comments. I'm just going to kind of keep going. I'm going to get to a lot of different topics. So, yeah, I appreciate it.